They both looked at each other in disbelief and left the room in a hurry, only to return to a big mess. So that's that one. Now this one is called Cracked. A couple of guests were sitting in the Colonial Room restaurant, drinking a glass of champagne, waiting to order. It was between 3 and 4 p.m. as the servers were getting ready for the dinner rush. After sitting about 15 minutes, the champagne glasses cracked and the light fixture above them started to rattle. "What is happening?" the guest said. The server stated that it must be a ghost. The guest laughed and said, "Oh God, oh good, we are exactly where we want to be." Okay, alright. Oh,
I read this before because we got too scared.
Okay, baby. Oh, this is called the Dirty Combat Boots. So, one night around 10 p.m., the banquet manager and a banquet captain went to the sales office on the 4th floor to make a new sign for a group. The manager was the only one to actually enter the office while the captain stayed in the hallway. When he entered, the only light in the office was the moonlight from the window. As he was walking to the printer, he stopped because he heard footsteps. He yelled, "Who is there?" in English and Spanish, but there was no answer. With very light, he looked through the doorway of the dining area when he saw a pair of dirty combat boots, clear as day. He yelled and almost fell backwards. He rushed to the hallway to tell the captain what happened and said, "Come with me." When asked what is wrong, "Are you scared?" the manager repeated, "Just come with me." The two men looked under all the desks and in the closets, but found no one. Although the sign was finally made, the banquet manager said he will never go into the sales office after dark again, and hasn't to date. The soldier at the bar. An employee's job was to clean the Menger bar after closing. He was given a large set of bar keys so that he could lock himself in there while cleaning. After checking the different areas to make sure all the guests were gone, he turned to start working. At this point, the employee saw a soldier in full uniform sitting at the bar. He was so startled that he couldn't find the correct key to get out of the bar. As a result, he started banging on the doors and yelling. Hotel security heard the cries for help and rescued the employee, letting him out of the bar. As the employee passed the housekeeping office, he threw the set of bar keys into the office and never returned to work, even going as far as to change his phone number. Wow. Ooh. Okay. Someone sat in our bed. This is the name of the next story. Jimmy, are you listening to our stories?
Yeah.
Okay. So, someone sat in our bed. Year after year on Halloween night, two locally well-known DJs would stay at the Menger Hotel. One year, the duo added a female voice to the show. On their most recent visit, the female and the male DJ were sent to the hotel with specific instructions to report on air any unusual experiences during their stay. The next morning, I happened to hear their account while on my way to work. The host DJ asked the two what happened during their stay at the Menger. Almost in unison, the pair of DJs stated that someone or something sat at the foot of their bed. When questioned on who exactly it was that sat on their bed, both replied shakingly, "I don't know. What do you mean you don't know? I paid for you two to stay at the hotel and give me a personal account of any ghost encounters. If someone sat on your bed, how did you get out of the room without seeing who it was?" asked the host DJ in a skeptical tone. The female DJ then replied, "We both fell off the sides of the bed. We were so scared. We crawled to our bags in the dark and ran out of the room." The host DJ, who did not stay at the hotel, then said, "What a waste of money." And that was the last visit we had from the local radio DJs. So then, okay. The next one is Do Not Fear the Dead. A hotel house. A hotel houseman was vacuuming the hallways on the 4th floor when all of a sudden he started yelling in Spanish, "Look at that dead Indian. Look at that. Look at all that blood." One of the ladies in the sales office, located on the same floor, rushed out and told the houseman to stop yelling before he scared the other guests. Still in shock, the houseman couldn't stop shouting. The saleswoman then grabbed him and shook him rather roughly, all the way saying, "Do not fear the dead, fear the people who are still alive." She then took him to the nearest elevator and asked him to take a moment to calm down, then return to work. That employee to this day has not stepped foot on the 4th floor. We haven't been to the 4th floor. How do you get to the 4th floor? Because it's all the way to the 3rd, the main area.
Wait, did he die?
No, he just never came back. He got really spooked.
Hey, was this the same him on the stories?
So this is a different one now, okay? This is called Who's There? One day, I went into the ladies' room by the Menger bar. When I walked in, I checked to ensure that I was in fact the only person in the restroom. Immediately after I sat down, the toilet in the furthest stall from me suddenly flushed. I got very startled. I looked under the stall to see if I saw feet, which I did not. After I got out of the stall, I went to wash my hands. As I was washing the soap off my hands, the sink on the opposite end of the room started spurting and spraying water. Steam quickly coated the mirror as it arose from the sink. I looked around me in shock, only to be reminded that I was the only person in the restroom. I shivered a little at the thought. After mustering up some courage, I walked over to the sink to shut the water off. When I did, I found out that the water was not in fact hot, but cool to the touch. To this day, I still question who it was that flushed that toilet and made that sink react in such a way. But more importantly, what caused the steam. After all these years, I still have no answers. This one's called The 10th Day Surprise. We're only on the 2nd day. So, a young married couple checked in for a 10-day stay to celebrate the wife's birthday. Each of the 10 days, the couple would come by the front desk for recommendations on places to go eat, visit, and experience. On their last day, the couple didn't come by to ask for any recommendations. Upon checkout, I was curious, so I asked what they did for the last night in town. They both looked very eager and excited to tell me something. After exchanging a look of agreement, the wife decided to let me in on their latest experience here at the Menger Hotel. "You'll never guess what happened to us last night," she continued. "Well, we decided to stay in and order dinner from room service. After we finished, I asked my husband to set the tray out in the hallway for me. Less than 5 minutes later, we heard rattling noises outside the door. When we opened the door, all the dishes and silverware were moving on their own. So we quickly closed the door. A little later, I asked my husband to bring the tray back, and so I could rearrange the dishes. That way we would know if they had been moved. We put the tray back out in the hallway, and the rattling started again. It stopped once we went to look at the tray, but all the silverware were facing the opposite directions and standing on their sides." I didn't even think to look at our stuff last night, but we heard all that rattling.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same
And then the door
thing,
opens.
and then the door opens. So now this is called
And then our door opens the same time today.
Yeah, it was the same time. The same time. So that's like, it couldn't just be like an accident, you know? So this one is called The Man in the White Shirt. You want to hear this one? You sure? Okay. One day, a gentleman who looked to be about 30 years old, wearing a white shirt and black pants, was seen on 3 separate occasions. It started when an employee saw him standing in the elevator on her way to a meeting. She entered the elevator and started straightening her paperwork before realizing that the elevator was not moving. She started to ask the gentleman to push the button for the first floor, but when she looked over at him, he was gone. At the meeting, still startled, she told everyone about the ghost she just saw. They all laughed and asked if she had been drinking. Later, while she was speaking to a banquet manager, she saw a reflection of someone walking by. She asked him who that was, and he replied, I don't know, a guy wearing a white shirt and black pants. I told him jokingly, oh, that's the guy you saw on the elevator. And we both laughed. At the end of the night, the banquet manager and I were leaving when we saw a man dressed in white shirt and black pants. He was trying to get into one of the meeting rooms through the garden door, which I was just in the garden a little bit ago and it was spooky. Sorry. The manager looked over and said, have a nice evening. I told the manager, we don't have any meetings tonight. So we walked back to see if he needed any assistance, and he was gone. We thought maybe he was in a room already, but the door was locked and the lights were off. The banquet manager shivered and said, did he respond when I told him to have a nice evening? I said, I don't know, but let's get out of here before we see him again. So look out for white shirts and black pants. Okay, so the next one is called Strange Things Are Happening. During one of the conferences here at the hotel...
Are you right there?
Oh, I'm right here, baby. Right here. During one of the conferences here at the hotel, one of the people speaking brought along her daughter so that she could take some headshots of her for an upcoming beauty pageant. She took several pictures around the hotel. When they received the pictures from being developed, they noticed that many of them had some things in the background that should not have been there. The guests were so upset by this that she called the media to take a report. She ended up getting interviewed by a TV reporter that took place in the valet area. She was telling him what happened and showed him the pictures. At one point, he said, what a great picture of your daughter and her father. She exploded, that is not her father. Well, why did you take a picture of her with a stranger? He said. I didn't. That's why I'm trying to tell you. Strange things are happening in there. She said she would never come back to the hotel ever again. She returned the following year. That's it?
Read them one more time.
No. Hold on. I'll think. Maybe I will read. I'll read the towel one more time, okay?
Not like all of them.
Let's do the towel one.
I'm just doing the towel one right now, and then we can go walk, okay?
I just realized these look like the M&M's.
Yeah, it reminds me of
delicious.
stacking rocks. Okay, one more, and then we can go walk over there, okay?
Where?
Too spooky.
And we're going to follow the things that you just said?
We can try to.
Let's go be spooky.
But we don't have to do these ones. We'll just go to where we went before, okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll go to the King Ranch Suite.
I
Is
took
he
a picture
there?
of that. A couple in their 50s came down to the front desk to report the following incident. A housekeeper had knocked on their room door between 2 and 3 in the morning to offer them towels. The front desk agent asked what the gentleman did, and he responded, well, I took...
spinner 3 a.m. challenge. It moves by itself!
Wow.
Thank you.
Well, I
Great
took
video.
the towels. The front desk agent was so shocked. Just to make sure, he questioned again. You took the towels? Yes, why? The guest asked. The agent explained that the hotel does not have housekeeping at that time of morning. The front desk agent then asked for a description of the housekeeper. The guest stated that the housekeeper was an African-American woman with a white apron and something in her hair. The confused guest then questioned, well, who brought me towels? He was then told the story of Sally White. We can go check out Sally White.
Is he dead?
Sally White? She's the one that got killed. Her husband killed her. Remember?
Can we go to her husband?
Well, I don't know whatever happened to her husband. I'm pretty sure maybe he went to jail and he's probably gone by now.
I think he got shot in the brain.
Oh.
You think so? Who would have done that?
I don't know, probably the police officers? Because they always wear guns.
They always do, huh?
Yeah.
And they're like, did you shoot Sally? And then,
They would say yes, and he will say yes, and he's going to say, I'll kill you, officers. So then the officers shoot his brain.
Don't make him mad. He might be here.
Yeah.
What if he's the one that's opening the door?
Hey, which one do you think it is that's opening the door?
Mm-hmm.
Me either.
So that's been happening. Let me grab my phone. So last night, remember, because this happened before.
Because we got room service around 9:30,
It was that same time.
and then we're all sitting here.
It was
And
this.
then-
It was the same thing.
The door's wide open. It's closed right now, but.
Oh, I was about to be like, no way. So it could. I mean, there has to be something that did that. If it happened at the same time.
Yeah.
You know.
It happened twice in a row.
Same time.
2 nights in a row.
The first. Did you go to the bathroom when we realized the door was open last night?
Last night, yeah, we were all sitting here,
And you went to the bathroom.
and I was going to get up to go to the bathroom, and I stood right there, and I looked over at you and said, can we look at this?
And then tonight.
And then tonight,
It was right after you left.
I left to go find my phone, close the door behind me,
And I went into the bathroom.
and it was closed, right?
Yeah, it was.
And then when you come out of the
'cause I
bathroom,
was
it
talking
was
to you and
open
I
all
was-
the way.
Yeah, it was complete. It was the same how it was last night. The door was all the way complete open.
And what room are we in?
3137.
3137.
So I don't know.
What do you think about that?
What do you think? Who do you think? Who do you think's opening the door?
Is it Sally?
No, the story on the sink. You know where the
And when,
water got all over the bathroom. That's why the door opened.
Hmm?
well, one of the guests was using the bathroom, and she was the only one in the bathroom. But she heard a toilet flush in the bathroom, and she looked underneath, and there was no feet or anything. Then she went to wash her hands, and then the sink at the end turned the water on. It was cold water, but it was all steamy on the windows, and
So she was like, how does cold water make
that's
steam?
the bathroom by the bar, which I want to go in there before we leave.
Yeah.
I might have to walk in there tonight. It's our last night here.
I think you want to leave because it's creepy.
Yeah.
I'll be freaked out.
How about let's just go explore and take pictures.
Hey, you know what? These ghosts here have never hurt anybody.
Mm-mm.
Ever.
And you know what? Ghosts can't do anything to you. They really can't.
Why?
They're probably just trying to tell us something. If we can
That's
understand
usually
what they're
what it
saying,
is.
then
Yeah.
maybe we can help them.
They try to connect, and
Maybe they need help.
they're trying to tell people maybe.
Oh, it's
something
going
or-
through one ear and going out the other.
Well, that's that.
Oh,
No,
no.
he's paying attention.
He knows. What were we talking about? Went out one ear and the
Spaghetti?
other?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so
Hi.
it is now. It's 11:19. Does anybody feel like walking around right now?
Let's go walk.
Come on, we'll go find the walking. Me, you, Bubba, and Daddy.
I don't know if I'll go.
You want to stay here by yourself?
Man, I think I'll just come with you.
Well, look, this will be super awesome. I will get.
Can I bring puppy?
Yes.
You want to bring Puppy? Okay.
Hey,